What up, y'all? We are back with another video, and we got recommended the subject of depression by Brandon Boolin. They said, make a video on the rise of depression today in society and dealing with depression as an individual. Okay. Right off rip, medication. A lot of people who don't need to be on medication, being on medication, which increases depression and suicidal thoughts. It's the biggest, one of the biggest reasons. Along with the fact that people feel like they don't have purpose nowadays. Like they don't have really anything to live for. Because there's not like a war to fight or their own personal war to fight. We live in a world full of just consumerism and materialistic shit, so it's really easy to be depressed, and even though it's really easy to be happy if you just count your fucking blessings, there's a huge problem with today's society and how we prioritize and make really fucking stupid people famous. Which is another reason why a lot of people are depressed, because we're like, why are they famous? Why are they rich? Why aren't I rich? So people are depressed based on like jealousy, envy, just in general with the type of society we live in today and what we consume. On top of like too many people being medicated. Even kids nowadays are way too heavily medicated. Oh, they got ADHD, they got autism, they got this, they got that. Maybe they're just a fucking kid and no kid wants to sit still in a fucking classroom, and even I had restless leg and all that, and I'm probably I got a little bit of the tism, but it's okay. I didn't need a fucking medication to help me with that shit. Like a still developing mind should not deal with mind-altering substances, so. Chemically, there's a lot of chemically induced depression just based on the fact that Big Pharma is so entwined into our daily lives that when I was growing up, not a lot of people were on medication. They just wanted to tough it out and do it naturally or holistically, but nowadays every doctor just pushes pills for anything. And they create pills that create more problems, that have side effects that you have to take more pills for. So there are a lot of different factors, but it has to do with today being people being just mass prescribed medication that they probably shouldn't be on. Because if the suicide side effect is there, or any effect that it might get worse, you shouldn't take it unless you absolutely fucking need to. Just like a lot of these like medical commercials nowadays, where it's like 13 seconds of it is the actual ad, and then the rest of the other 60 seconds is lethal side effects and whatnot. Don't take it if you have this or whatever. It's a bunch of dumb shit. So people have their own personal reasons why they are depressed, along with societal impact, how we feel not prioritized, left behind, judged, and a bunch of other stuff, because we are told to fit into this fucking category ever since we were born. There's a good book called The Four Agreements. I got the companion guide. I highly recommend it. And it talks about your own laws or whatever. And it talks about how people, ever since we're born, we're forced to fit a self-image that other people are creating. Like boys and men. We're not supposed to cry. We're supposed to suck it up, right? We're not supposed to talk about our feelings. Why do you think men kill themselves the most? Because talking about your feelings actually helps get it out of your fucking head instead of keeping it pent up. And crying, even though it feels like you're weak as fuck for doing it sometimes, it's literally how your body deals with stress. So when you have a society where almost all the males feel like we can't talk or cry, we're going to be fucking depressed or really fucking irritable, to say the least. And how you deal with depression personally, on a personal level, as an individual, you need to take a step back, stop looking at what the fuck you don't have, look what you do have. If you have a roof over your fucking head, if you have access to food, clean drinking water, and you're not out in a fucking winter storm or some shit, or bouncing around, couch surfing, whatever, count your blessings, dude. Even if you're homeless, you are blessed if you still have the ability to walk around. Because there are people that might have a home. They might have full government support, but they don't have the freedom to go for a walk because they're stuck in a wheelchair or bedridden or shit like that. So a good way to get depressed or get out of your depression is to get out of your own bullshit in the first place. Take a step back, count the blessings, be appreciative of what you do have, the small things, and live in the moment. Taoism and Buddhism say that if you're stuck in the past, you're going to be depressed. If you're focusing on the future, you're going to have anxiety, but you can only find peace when you're in the moment. So take everything day by day, live in the moment, realize that it could always be worse, and based on your own individual reasons for being depressed, try to count your blessings and reasons to not be depressed. And try to expand your circle. More people sometimes means more drama and shit like that, but you might incorporate some positive people and be less depressed. There are some people who are just chemically built that way to where they are just happy as fuck regardless, and those are really good people to have in your life, so try to find those kinds of people. You can always reach out to free suicide hotlines if you need to talk to anybody. If you are not able to get into a therapist, because talking to somebody does help, it makes you feel like you're not alone, which is one of the first steps of dealing with your depression as an individual, is realizing you're not alone. It's okay to ask for help. You're not weak when you fucking need to talk about shit or you feel like you need to cry or whatever. I wish I could cry over the loss of my mom. I can't for like more than 2 minutes at a time, because I'm 35 and my entire life I've been told to man the fuck up, suck it up, don't talk about your feelings, and don't cry. I'd even cry at my first grandparents' funeral because I felt like I had to be strong. And I was like 8. So that's a lot of fucking pressure to put on a little kid, right? Just because I was a boy and I wasn't supposed to cry and all that. So count your blessings. And the best way to deal with depression is just fucking facing it, and instead of avoiding it. Take control of your life. A lot of people are stuck in what I like to call a damsel in distress mentality. They're waiting for somebody else to save them, or they're waiting for an opportunity to come along. You gotta save yourself. You gotta create the opportunity if one doesn't come along. You gotta go fucking do that shit, because you can sit there and hope someone's gonna bring you a glass of water, or you can pray that someone's gonna bring you a glass of water, or you can get up and get yourself a fucking glass of water. And even if you ain't got a glass, use your fucking hands. Don't focus on what you don't have in order to get what you want. Focus on what you want. Make small goals and then try to achieve it. And understand that failure is a part of learning. Because if nobody failed, nobody would learn outside of just being successful, which is not reality. So you gotta fail. You gotta be down and depressed, sadly, because we have to be down and out. Because if we're always happy, we're gonna take it for granted. And then if you're always happy and you finally get hit with some fucking real shit, dude, it will fucking make you break. So like, being a fucked up individual actually strengthens you, and it makes you prepared for life basically kicking you while you're already down. So it's not a bad thing. Just don't stay depressed. Don't let it control you. Don't let it define you, because it's only a small part of you. And once you understand that, you can start taking the steps on an individual basis to fight it. Try to have a good support group. And if you can't have one of those, or you can't find one of those, you gotta be your good support group. Because in Buddhism, they say that you have to create your own happiness, because if you invest it in other people and things, once the things are taken away or other people leave, the happiness goes with it. And then here comes the depression. So if you can generate your own happiness or try to get yourself out of that funk, then you just got yourself to rely on, and you don't have to rely on anybody else. But having said that, it is good to have people to rely on, because we are social by nature and the world is depressed, especially after being locked down for multiple years. So yeah, Go out and live your life again and be happy. That's the best way you can fight depression. Keep yourself busy. Get the fuck out of your head. Don't take medication unless you absolutely have to. It's unnecessary and the side effects are not worth it. Plus, if there's a disruption in the supply chain, you won't have to fucking worry about negative side effects or being dependent on medication. So, live life holistically, as natural as you can. Don't try to fight nature. Embrace the inevitable, which is easier said than done, and just take life day by day, because if you're too busy focusing on what happened or what will happen, it's going to ruin the peace of the moment. So I hope that helps, and thank you for the suggestion on the topic. Another video over 10 minutes. Sorry, I'm not doing this on purpose. I just don't have a script, and I like going off the top of the dome. I'm not milking this for any type of financial gain, because I don't even think I get monetized. So I don't know, but thank you for the comments. Thank you for all the support and like interactions, and I hope you guys are getting some kind of enjoyment or entertainment or mental stimulation from these videos. Otherwise, I'm just talking into a camera, and eventually somebody will find this helpful or something like that. So yeah, it's not completely pointless, and I hope you guys have a great day, weekend, week, whenever you watch this, and just remember to take everything day by day. Nothing will be fixed overnight. Nothing.